It starts with just a few pictures, maybe one or two pictures that she sees. She gets kind of self conscious, but nothing crazy. And then maybe a few more weeks go by, she sees a few more pictures of other girls and begins to really consider what she looks like. But again, nothing crazy. It starts with maybe skipping one meal, maybe taking one less bite of this, one less bite of that. But then, about 3 months down the road, she's skipping 2 meals a day. And then all of a sudden, she's not eating at all. And she has horrible anorexia and is in the hospital. This is the tragedy that is and comes from the comparison game on social media. Now, I have social media. I'm extremely involved in it. I have Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, you name it. I probably have it. And honestly, I'm sure almost all of you do too. I'm sure it makes up most of your daily lives. I'm sure you go on it every single day. And almost every teenager slash middle aged college person, and honestly, even older people have it to this day as well. It's just so prevalent in our lives. Now, the comparison game, that is what I'm going to talk to you about today. The comparison game on social media is simply when other people, specifically teenagers, compare themselves to what other teenagers are posting on social media, and then they take it to heart. Now, the definition of the comparison game and kind of what it means is that it's just when teenagers compare themselves to other teenagers on social media. That's really it. It's that simple. There's nothing much to it. But it creates so many tragic problems. Now, what this means is kind of, and how this works is that these teenagers make their bodies look perfect on social media. They have so many editing apps and tools that they can make their bodies look however they want. And other teenagers see this and they become very, very self conscious about it. An example of this would be when a guy posts a picture of his ripped and jacked body. He's shirtless, he looks perfectly aesthetic, and other guys see this on Instagram and feel like they have to be that way too. They start working out super hard and start eating just very oddly and dieting just because they feel like that's what the social norm is, when in reality, it's not at all. Personally, I've caught myself doing this many times. I've compared myself to many other people on social media, and I have to remind myself that it's all fake edits and fake editing in photos. It's really not real, and that is not who people really are. This is a picture of me my senior year of high school in my football picture. This was done by a photo editing company, not by me, but it is really not what I look like. It makes me look just much, honestly, different than what I really do look like. And I could have posted it on social media, but again, that would be lying. However, many people do this, and many people cause other people to have horrible depression and take tragic actions solely because of it. Jacqueline Nessie, a researcher at the University of North Carolina, says that social media comparison is linked to depressive symptoms directly and causes many, many teenagers to fall into horrible depression solely because of comparing themselves. Now, what is the reason for this? Well, the main cause for the comparison game is actually just the high use of social media today. 90% of teenagers ages 13 to 17 use social media. That's incredible. That means that almost 9 out of 10 is 9 out of 10 people using social media at that such a young age, and they can be so easily manipulated by other teenagers and what they're posting and they feel like the social norm really is. The Child Mind Institute says that up to 66% of teens are depressed solely because of social media use and comparison. This is a horrible thing that plagues our society today, and will only continue to get worse as we go on because social media becomes a bigger and bigger part of our daily lives every single day. Now, how should we solve this? My solution would be to force social media companies to put warning labels about fake photos and editing right when you open the app. Now, what this means is that warning labels like these are where warnings would pop up right in the bottom part of the screen to alert you to fraudulent photos and kind of things of the sort. And so when you're looking at photos, in the back of your mind, you know that this might not be real, and so to take everything with just a grain of salt. Now, on the home screen of Instagram is where an example of this is where I would like it to be. When you pop up Instagram, it shows a little logo right when you open the app, and I think it would be really good if maybe just on the bottom half of the screen, they just had a little message about most things that you may see on the screen may not be completely real. Please be aware of that when viewing this, etc., etc. And so just something small like that, I think, could actually have a huge impact on social media and teenager comparison. Now, personally, I have no experience with this because it really doesn't exist, but it's something I believe that could truly help us and really take down mental health tragedies just because of a small, small warning label. The Girl Guiding Charity believes this would work, actually, and they have already proposed a bill for this in law in the UK. It's already in the UK and it's already going through their parliament and Congress because it really would seem like a fair solution and kind of an easy thing to do. Now, some people at least would probably argue against this because they feel like it would take away from the aestheticness of social media. It wouldn't look as good with a little warning label and so on and so forth. However, this might be true, but mental health is so much more important than the aesthetics of a homepage of Instagram. Like, it honestly doesn't even compare. I think many people who have known someone or who themselves have experienced the comparison game and the mental toll it takes on you will completely agree with me that mental health is just so much more important that it's not even really able to be compared to the aesthetics of Instagram. Now, what can you do to help? My call to you, and I urge all of you to text or call your local lawmakers to propose legislation for this because it is such a horrible problem. The tricky part about this is that the legislation would have to be on a federal level because social media is everywhere. So we need to text our Texas representative, who is Senator John Cornyn. You can text him at 512-469-6034. A world with just a warning label on every social media could have an astronomical improvement in teen mental health. And it could be seen from just something that small. It would be an incredible change, and I think it would make all of our teenage lives a better place. Thank you.